Giglio for NJ Sports Now on this Monday, November the 24th, the day after what was an incredible back-and-forth game on Sunday Night Football between the Giants and the Cowboys, of course punctuated by the catch from Odell Beckham Jr., one that generated over 50,000 tweets per minute by fans of the game, by fans of the New York Giants. And, Beckham deserves all the credit in the world for going up and making the catch of the year. Maybe, without hyperbole, one of the greatest catches in the history of professional football. Of course, when the game ended, it was 31-28 Dallas Cowboys on top. Despite Beckham's heroics, coming back from a back injury in the fourth quarter to get back on the field, despite his great performance and legendary spiraling catch for a touchdown, the Giants lost again. Now 3-8 on the season. And down the stretch of that game, the biggest difference between the Giants and the Cowboys was evident. Late in that game, when the Giants were trying to come back one more time for one more score, and they could not do it, being stopped, a replay review confirmed on 4 downs. What was the biggest difference was Eli Manning did not have the time in the pocket late in that game on that last drive to make a miracle drive to win or tie the game. He couldn't get the ball down the field one more time to Odell Beckham Jr. On the flip side, you had the Dallas Cowboys and Tony Romo, who really could have taken out all the time he wanted in the world, 7-8 seconds at a time on the last drive in the pocket. The biggest difference between the New York Giants and the Dallas Cowboys right now and last night is up front, specifically their offensive line. Last night, the Giants' offensive line actually played okay for the first time in weeks. They made a few changes, including Jeff Schwartz coming back. But it was hard not to look at the other side and look at the dominant offensive line the Dallas Cowboys have put together, and for Giants fans to not be a little jealous, specifically of rookie Zack Martin out of Notre Dame. When we talked during the Giants-Cowboys in October, it was right when Odell Beckham had made his debut, just a couple weeks before, and Giants fans were saying the Giants should have taken Zack Martin with the 12th pick in the first round. They took Beckham. Now, few are saying that Beckham was anything but the right choice. 4 selections later, the Cowboys ended up taking Zack Martin to complete 3 straight years of rebuilding their offensive line. Tyron Smith a few years ago, Frederick the center, and now Martin. And you listen to the broadcast last night, you go back and kind of rewatch and re-listen to that game, and you think about how glowing both Chris Collinsworth and Al Michaels, the NBC broadcasters, were of both Beckham and Martin. Beckham is going to be a star, a special player. In fact, he already is. He looks like he's going to be a great wide receiver for a long time. But I do think as the Giants and Cowboys play twice a year, and as long as the Cowboys have the advantage on the offensive line, which they clearly do now, and Martin, who could be a Rookie of the Year candidate, and eventually, I think, will be an all-pro lineman on the interior there for the Dallas Cowboys, as long as the Cowboys have the advantage on the offensive line, and as long as guys like Zack Martin could protect Tony Romo and give the Giants defensive backs basically no chance to cover for 8 seconds on game-winning drives, as long as the Cowboys have that advantage, it will be a debate that we could go on and on and on for years about. When the Giants selected 12th, Odell Beckham was atop their board. From everything you heard, they also loved Zack Martin, the guard out of Notre Dame. Now, as the two now have played 2 games against each other, there is not one negative thing you could say about either player, and there's not one negative thing you could say about the Giants' selection of Odell Beckham Jr., except, of course, for the fact that Zack Martin would have filled a major need on the Giants' offensive line. I'm Joe Giglio for NJ Sports Now.